Okay, Mr. Vizier, what makes you want to be a leader?
What makes you want to be a leader? I think that is something that is acquired. Um, I think you're either born with that quality or not.
Sure.
It's not something that you learn how to be.
Right.
Being a leader is something that you're born with.
Right. Like you
have
said,
to.
with your character.
It's all about your character as a person. I
Okay.
think. Yeah.
Good answer. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Question 3. Now, being that we assume that you have leadership qualities, which that's why I interviewed you, because I believe that you do. Did you always have leadership tendencies, or did you develop them over time and experience?
I've been a leader since birth,
Yeah.
literally. I'm the oldest of 5, and I've always had to be responsible for, my younger siblings.
Sure.
But it's just something that, I was born with, literally. Again, it's not something you can buy. It's not something you learn. You are either a leader or a follower.
Right.
Simple as that.
Absolutely. Great. Okay. Moving right along here. In what ways have you learned and grown as a leader without stagnation? How have you grown as a leader? Do you believe over the years? Do you think you've learned more, like, qualities or?
I think I've grown as a leader by setting examples.
Okay.
Okay, for younger therapists,
Right.
for instance.
Right.
They've always gravitated towards me,
Mhm.
in the clinical setting.
Yeah, sure.
In terms of being a preceptor, clinical instructor, the students would always want to hang out with me for the day.
Right. I want to pick your brain, your wealth of knowledge.
Well, yeah,
and-
because I would let them do certain things,
Yeah.
So, that gave me confidence and also helped me establish leadership skills to be able to,
Set that example.
set the example.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh my God.
So, are there any books, writers, or other resources that you would recommend for learning or growing in leadership? Like, do you look at RT Magazine? Do you look at how have you developed your qualities? Like, as a therapist, how have you gained your knowledge? Is it just over experience? Do you read articles? What do you do?
I haven't picked up a respiratory book since '79.
Yeah. So just you've been.
Everything I know I've learned and I've earned through
Yeah.
trial and error. You know what I mean? It's definitely experience.
Right.
Everything I was taught in school was not what it was in the field.
Right,
You know
by
what
the
I mean?
book,
By
so
the
to say,
book.
right, yeah.
You cannot take what you've learned in a didactic class and apply it in a clinical setting. It just doesn't work.
Doesn't click.
No.
I agree with that.
No,
I
it
agree.
doesn't at all.
Awesome. Now, is there a leader in your field that has impacted you personally on how to lead?
Actually, yeah, my ex-husband is one of the best therapists that I've ever known.
Yeah.
And he taught me a lot of what I know.
Yeah, you
and
learned and
I
grew
learned
together.
a lot from him. And yeah, we did. We grew together.
Yeah.
And taught each other along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just been a major impact on
It was huge.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So, what habits do you have in your day that make you successful or productive? How does Trevicia get ready to go save the world every day?
I think enjoying what I do
Yeah, it's a big part.
is huge. You know, I don't think I would have the motivation to get up and do what I do if I didn't enjoy it. And I think
Right.
that is probably
You just love patient care. You love being around
I
real people
am-
person.
Absolutely. I just love caring for other people.
Yeah.
I'm a giver, not a taker.
Right. So it doesn't feel
So-
like work to you. It's not about paycheck. It's
No.
just
It's about doing what I
Love.
love to do.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So, next question. Do you have any standout character traits that have made you a successful leader in that way? Do you have more of a go-getter personality, or you kind of sit back and let other people kind of dictate the situation? I think from what I've seen from you, you have a hard work ethic. You really you have that personality where, you know, you're not going to take any crap that's wrong. You're going to make sure that the patient gets the best care possible. What do you think? What kind of traits do you have?
I am definitely assertive when
Yeah.
it comes to anything that I do in life, you know, be
Yeah.
it work, personal, or whatever. If I can't do it to the best of my ability, then I'm just simply not going to do it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Great. So, next question. Have the hours you work changed now as a leader? And are the responsibilities you have taken on manageable? Like if you were a supervisor, do you think those tasks, the like the 8 to 5 ish kind of job, or being that preceptor that you are, does that change how you manage your patients as far as that's concerned? Like, are you um, when you precept and you separate yourself from direct patient care and you divide that to give those kids or whoever they are, those students, a lot of your time and energy, does that make your day go differently, or do you
No.
do it the same way every time?
I absolutely love precepting. I love giving back what I've learned. I think it's the greatest gift on earth is to be able
Absolutely.
to give back something you've learned in life, especially when it comes to helping somebody else.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Somebody
it's a
with-
true blessing, and it makes my heart very happy to sit back and let these kids just,
Yeah.
you know, get them in there hands on, sit
Right.
back and teach them, guide them along the way, and make sure that, you know,
Right.
they are able to perform without supervision.
Yeah.
you
So
know.
no change for you. Just
No,
you're all out
Not at
every
all.
day, all day. Got it.
pretty much.
Beautiful. Okay. So, is it difficult to prioritize your career and your family or other responsibilities?
Nope, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Does career come first, family? I mean, or do you balance them out? Or?
It's a perfect balance for me
It is.
because my family is just as important as my job. I mean,
Sure.
I can't take care of my family if I
Right.
don't work. So
You treat them, your
Yeah.
patients, as family. I mean, it seems like, right? I mean,
oh, absolutely.
beautiful.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so when making the difficult decisions you have and suggest having, do you suggest having advisors, or do you rely on your own intellect?
I rely on my own intellect. I'm self-taught in
Yeah.
a lot of things. You know,
Being 4 decades
well,
in, I mean,
it's all about common sense. You know, if
Yeah.
you know the basis of your job, but you know, I teach respiratory on a level that pulmonary pathophysiology does not change.
right,
If you know your job, you can take it and run with it.
absolutely.
Okay?
Mhm.
It's as simple as that. Just use common sense and common
And
knowledge.
you'll be okay.
And you'll be okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Are there times when you yourself face criticism or opposition, and how did you handle it when you did face that criticism?
Oh, I used to be a hellion, yeah. But,
Sure.
you know, I've learned that doesn't work. So I've learned to not be so emotional, you know.
That's a big
There are
thing.
3 things in life that you have to do. You have to take responsibility,
Yep.
take the emotion out of it, and assert yourself. I think that's the
Yep.
word.
That sounds good.
Does that
Yeah,
sound good?
That does.
Okay, and if you can do those 3 things, you'll be okay.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think taking responsibility, yes. And
Mhm.
as far as the emotional part, it's like you have to withdraw yourself from these
Absolutely.
situations. Like it's so,
The training in this business has taught me that, though, too, because
Yeah.
I've been in certain situations where I've not been allowed to be emotional, you know?
yeah.
And it's tough.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
Sure it
You
is.
have to just, you know,
I mean, we're emotional creatures. That's just how we are.
we are.
All right. Beautiful. Okay. Last 3.
Okay.
You're doing awesome.
Mm.
We're in the home stretch. Is there something specific you're working towards as a leader, or are you gonna?
No, just, you know, leading my own life is
Right.
enough for me.
Being that example to these
Yeah.
therapists, that's your main priority.
I've got my hands full with my own personal life
Sure.
and professional. So just, you know,
You just
dealing
make
with that and being on top of my game is, you know,
main things.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. So, is there a successful pattern for team building, and is getting people to become a team, is that important, do you think?
I think it's extremely important
Sure.
to get people to become a team. You know,
Mhm.
it's not easy, but it's important.
Right.
Yeah.
What kind of pattern do you think, like, for example,
What are
this
you-
department, what
What
would
are you
they?
prepping for?
I have no idea.
It's part of his school.
It's my interview project. Yeah. So,
I knew it was
Like-
something good.
right. So, do you believe that maybe, like team building conferences or exercises, or what pattern specifically? Maybe for this department, would you believe that would build a more a better morale here? Bye, Doris.
Thanks for your help.
Have you seen? I mean, as many places as you've been,
Right.
and you see some departments they all hate each other, like you said. And some get along just fine. And
Right.
what do you think causes that love and hate relationship with those different facilities?
You have to have a perfect balance of
Mhm.
people and personalities, energy, spirit, all of that to
Right.
me matters. And I think that's why face-to-face interviews are so important
Yeah.
instead of internet interviews or
Sure.
even phone interviews, you know.
Right.
That personal interaction is important.
Yes.
You know, you can judge a person by their body language, you know,
Yeah.
by their expression, their
Yeah.
just the way that they respond to, you know, a question
Absolutely.
or whatever. So
That really builds.
Balancing-
You've really seen that really works in departments, and that
it
really brings them
definitely
together.
works. There have been
Communication.
people that have applied for jobs that, you know, they would allow the staff to actually interview and sit in on some of the interviews. And therefore we
That's
can
awesome.
determine whether or not this person's a good fit for the team or, you know, for the house
Right.
at that point. And it matters. It makes a big difference because you can have one bad apple
Absolutely.
in the group and it will ruin it for everybody.
You're right.
So
Exactly right.
I think-
Awesome. Okay. Final question. You as a leader in your field, being the tenure and the veteran that you are, how would you encourage your subordinates or your younger colleagues to work harder and enjoy their work?
well, first of all, you have to enjoy what you do.
Yeah.
And if you have to be interested and enthused.
Right.
And if you're neither one of those, then you should not be in this profession
Right.
or any profession
So
for
it
that
takes a
matter.
special person. I
It takes a
guess, right?
special person. You have to have a love for wanting to help people, you know, and give back. And not everybody's cut out for that, you know.
That's right.
Yeah, it takes a special person to do this job. So,
Awesome.
and I encourage them. Yeah, if you're not interested in enthused, then you can't be on my team. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sending you back to your instructor because
Right.
at that point it's a waste of my
You
time.
can try to like set the example and be positive, but if they're
Right.
not going to be,
Yeah.
there's no way to make them. I mean, they
No.
just are who they are.
They
right? I
are
mean,
who
you
they
can't-
are. You have people that get into certain professions for the money. They get
Yep.
into it for status, you know, all for the wrong reasons. So it's got to be for the right reasons that you're here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes our interview, Trevicia.
Well,
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome, Justin.
All right.
I'm glad I was able to help.
There she is.
And now
the
that
woman
you
behind
put me
the
on the
woman
spot.
behind the answers.
Oh my God.
She said she didn't want to
Of our
be on it.
respiratory
Oh
issues.
my God.
Okay. And we're
God.
cutting.